I'm going to start this video by covering a few tools that can help keep your survey organized. These are options that are available in this last icon on the far left-hand side of your screen, which gives you your survey options. Underneath responses here, there are two options that can be useful. The first is this allow respondents to finish later. This controls what Qualtrics does with the survey when participants are taking it. If the participant steps away from the survey, do you want them to be able to come back to that link later and finish, or do you want it to collect their response where they left for the day? So if it's checked to on, this means that if a participant visits your link, they get halfway through and need to step away from their computer, and then they visit the link again, this will allow them to start the survey where they left off. If this is checked to off, as soon as the person closes the tab with the survey on, or if enough time has transpired, then if they go to that same link, it will start them over in the survey. So it's good to have this checked to on when participants are actually taking your survey most of the time. If you want them to have to complete it within one sitting, you can change this to off. But the problem with this is if the participants' website, internet dips for a second, it will send them back to the beginning of the survey. So it's one thing to consider. I also recommend that as you are testing your own experiment, that you change this to off. And the reason for that is if you're checking your experiment and you see something wrong and you want to go back to your survey development page, this page here, and change something, you can make that change, but then when you go back to test the survey, it's going to start where you left off and not be the most updated version of the study. So if you change this to off, each time you go to check your own survey, it'll start from the beginning again so that you can see the most recent version as you're working through it. So my recommendation is to turn this off while you're working on your own survey, but then usually turn it back on when you send this survey out to your participants. Right, the other option I wanted to talk about was this incomplete survey responses. This tells Qualtrics what to do with responses where participants didn't complete the whole experiment, or the whole survey. You can say to delete them, you don't want to see them. I think it's useful to usually record incomplete survey responses at least so that you can see them. And the default, I believe, is usually 1 week. I like to change this to 4 hours or 24 hours so that I can collect those responses for participants that don't seem like they're going to go back to the survey. The one thing with this is that sometimes participants just don't make it to the final page of your survey. If you have a screen that says, thank you for taking the time on this survey, or they can tell that you're wrapping up questions about demographics or something like that. Sometimes they just stop there at the survey and they got through most of it. But in that case, Qualtrics would still call it an incomplete response until they get to, again, the final page of the survey. So that's why I think it's useful to record these responses and change the deadline to something a little less than a week. All right, let's get back to our survey builder and talk about a few more advanced tools. In this video, I'm going to talk about skip and display logic, typing text, question randomization, and loop and merge fields. So let's start with skip and display logic here. I'm looking at the example that I created in past videos, but I've made just a few changes. So we have our instruction screen first. And then I have a question that says, did you have a good day today? If you look at the next question, it's, did you have a good day yesterday? And did you have a good day 2 days ago? I've also added these timing questions so that people can't move on from this question for at least 2 seconds. So maybe this survey would be something where we were interested in how long it's been since somebody would say they've had a good day. If that's what we're interested in, if they say that, yeah, today is great and awesome, that's all they need to complete for this part of the survey because we found it, their last good day was today. So let's say that's the case. We can use skip logic to move them ahead in the survey. So if we click on the question so that the blue bars are, or the blue box is around the question, we can then scroll down in our left-hand menu to skip logic. Right, then we're going to set up our logic here. It says first to skip from this question to which question you want, and I'll talk about that in a second. But then we set up the logic for what happens or when should this question skip forward. Well, we want it to skip forward if people say absolutely to this question. So we say if absolutely is selected. All right, and then if they say absolutely to this question, we can move them on to any of the other questions, or maybe we select end of block. And that's going to skip them down past these questions to block 2 here. All right, we can also use display logic if we want to collect more information based on a response they say here. So to get rid of skip or display logic, you can go to the 3-dot menu again across from where it says the logic and select remove. All right, let's look at display logic for this question. Maybe if they say my day is not very good, I want to know why they're saying that. So I can say display logic. I'm going to base this on a question. And it's going to be based on the response to, did you have a good day today? Let's see. Something seems a little off here. Let me troubleshoot. Okay, we'll get back to loop and merge in a little bit. Let me try this again. So display logic based on a question, did you have a good day today? And if they say not really, so not really is selected. Sorry, I forgot one step here. Okay, let me back up, start with display logic. Again, maybe I want to ask them, why was your day not good? So I can add a question in here. And we'll make this a text entry. To say, why was your day not good? Okay, then I only want this question to display if they say absolutely to, did you have a good day today? So now in your new question, I can say, I only want this to display when they select not really to, did you have a good day today? All right, I can then check in page, which will make this display right underneath this question, or I can uncheck that to have my new question display in a different window on a different page. So let me uncheck that for now, and I'll show you what that looks like in preview. Okay, and I also need to remove that for now. All right, so I'll publish this and then let's take a look at our block. So let me first say my day today was good. You can then see it moves on to ask me about yesterday. Now let's see what happens when I say today is not good. Well, now I'm shown that question, why was your day not good? And I might say, I missed my bus this morning. And then when I move on, it shows me, did you have a good day yesterday? Okay, apologize for that confusion there. So let's talk about piping text. Piped text is nice if you want to show people some words that either they responded or that you have housed somewhere else. And I'll show you what I mean there with our loop and merge tool. But let's say I want to verify that what they typed to this why was your day not good question is what they meant. So I can display another question here. And we'll add a page break here. Okay, and here we'll say, you said your day wasn't good because blank. Is this correct? And maybe we say yes, no. Okay, but I don't want a blank here. I want it to tell them what did they type in the question before. So I can pipe in text from a survey question. And we need to find, what did they say to why was your day not good? Question text would mean that it puts in why was your day not good. But if you select the question again, this is what they responded to that question. I know that's a confusing way for them to show it. Okay, and you can see here it says text entry value, which means what they typed in this text entry question. So let's look at what that looks like in our survey. I'll publish it again. Okay, and let's view our block. All right, so we're going to say, I didn't really have a good day. Why was your day not good? I missed my bus. And so now you can see, you said your day wasn't good because I missed my bus. Is this correct? Yes. So this can be useful for things like feedback. If you want to say, you responded with A, the correct answer was B, or something like that. All right, and you might have noticed that I missed my bus was bolded. That's because I changed the formatting on this line of piped text. So if you want it to be unbolded, you can change it in your rich content editor. You can make their response a different color. And however this piped text is formatted is how their response will show up to the participant. Now there's another option of how to pipe in text, and that's within your rich content editor. So let me delete this out of there. This A within brackets is another way to insert piped text, which brings you to the same menu that we've seen before. So I would go to survey question, why was your day not good? And select that line of pipe. All right, now let's get into question randomization. This can get very confusing if you have skip logic, display logic, but there are timing questions, but there are ways to work around it. So let me remove this display logic for now. And we'll take out this question. All right, now I have it back to the way I had at the beginning with, did you have a good day today? Did you have a good day yesterday and 2 days ago? All right, the way that we can randomize, let's say that we want today, yesterday, and 2 days ago to be in a random order for each participant. To do that, we click on the whole block so that we have the blue box around the entire block. And we select question randomization here. All right, you can see their warning here. There are timing questions in this block. It can mess those up. Let me show you how to work with that. So if you don't have timing questions or things that need to be displayed on the same page, you can just say randomize the order of all questions. But with more advanced options, you'll need to use advanced randomization. All right, so you can see our questions that we have in this block. The first says, these are our instructions. Did you have a good day today? And then you can see the 3 timing questions. Then if you scroll down, there's a green box that says randomize and use all items, a blue box that says randomly insert however many questions from this list, and a red box for excluded items. We'll talk through each of these a bit. But let's say we want to randomize whether they say they see today, yesterday, or 2 days ago, the order they see those 3. If we select those 3 questions, we can then use this arrow to move them into the green box. Now let's scroll back up and you can see we have, these are our instructions: randomized, timing, randomized, timing, randomized, timing. So those 3 randomized in brackets is where they're going to put the 3 questions that are in this box, but it's going to randomly select one of those 3 to display. But you may notice you need it in this order where you have the question and then timing all the way throughout. But as we've talked about with timing questions, you need the timing and the question text on the same page. So we actually need to display 2 questions on each page. To do that, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and type show 2 questions on each page. Now let me show you what happens with that setup. All right, let's preview this. So you can see we actually get our instruction screen and the first question in our block. Then if we move forward, our timing then is on top of our second question. So we actually need to fix this a bit because we want the instructions to display first and then the question plus a timing question. This is an easy enough fix. We just have to add another blank question underneath our instructions so that these 2 get displayed on one page. So we'll go text or graphic, delete this out of there. Okay, let's try to change it to white. There we go. And now let's see what the block looks like. Okay, let me try one more time. Still seems to be acting up. Let me try this preview option. This is a lot of Qualtrics is trying to troubleshoot what is going wrong at each step. All right, so I've just changed that so that we have the question IDs in order. Let's try this, and then I have one other idea. Okay, we're still having the same problem. Let's go back and look at our advanced randomization. So this is what happened. It put my new question at the bottom of everything else. So if we move this question up to right underneath, these are our instructions. Let's see if that fixes the issue. There we go. So now you can see these are our instructions. And now we have the proper setup with a question and a timing question underneath. All right, last we have loop and merge here. You can see that my questions here are very similar to one another. Each one has, did you have a good day, blank, and whether that blank is full with today, yesterday, or 2 days ago. And they all have the same responses. So rather than making a set of questions, we can use what's called loop and merge to keep most of this question the same and just change the words we want. So I'm going to copy this block here. And we're actually only going to include the first question. Did you have a good day today? And the timing. Okay. Then we're going to select the whole block again. We don't want the question randomization anymore because we want the same set. We only have one question at this point. So let's turn off randomization for now. And we're going to turn on loop and merge. So as we said, we wanted one question to say today, one to say yesterday, one to say 2 days ago. So we're going to type those options into field 1 here. And I'll delete out these extra rows. And we'll hit save. So what loop and merge does is it says to display the, let me go back to the table. What happened here? Did I turn on, I turned on loop and merge for the wrong field. Yesterday, 2 days ago. We'll save there. So what it's going to do, you can always get back to your table by clicking this loop and merge icon to the right of your block name. Is it's going to go through the whole block displaying today. And then it's going to go through it again, displaying yesterday. And then go through it again, displaying 2 days ago. But we need to tell the block, where do we want that information to display? So we're going to go down to our question. And we want to have, did you have a good day? And then this is where our text is going to go. So we're going to pipe in, but rather than a survey question response, we're going to scroll down to loop and merge fields, and select field 1 here. Okay, and then we need to get rid of that part. And I'll bold it so that we can see what's changing. All right, let's take a look at this now. Here are our instructions. And now you can see it says, did you have a good day today? Actually, I apologize. I need to go back and get rid of this block for now. So the reason that I can't just view my first block is that some of this more advanced code doesn't work with preview block for some reason. So you can see here where I piped in the text, it just leaves it blank. But if I go to preview the whole survey, everything works fine. Where you can see now it says today, and I can say absolutely. All right, these are our instructions again. Did you have a good day yesterday? Nah, not really. These are our instructions. Did you have a good day 2 days ago? So you can see that field updating each time it goes through the block. All right, and now it's moved on to block 2 because it went through all of our loop and merge fields. Now, you might have noticed that these are our instructions displayed every single time. And that's because they're within the same block as our loop and merge. So this is one case where you have to think about how are you grouping these questions into different blocks. If I only wanted this question to be loop and merged, I would have to add another block. And I will move this block up. Oops. Right, and then I'll add a question. And how is my instructions here? Right. We can get rid of that. So now watch what happens with the preview. We only get our instruction screen once, and then it's going to start our loop and merge. Did you have a good day yesterday? Absolutely. Did you have a good day 2 days ago? So we're not getting instructions repeating every time anymore. All right, that's all for this video.